sensitive move, but I still had 7 months where I worked extremely part-time, and I was able to really kind of deal with those emotions and really sit in that. Because like I said, you trying to get up that hill of grief and you're still getting pulled back by all those human day-to-day normal expectations. I honestly think there should be a longer time taken when you are dealing with grief with employment. Just like maternity leave, paternity leave, there should be grief leave. Truly, I believe that, because one, you're taking care, depending on who you are in this aspect. Like I said, I am my mother's only child, so I am the executive of her estate, and so there's a lot of things that need to be taken care of, and so I would have been way more overwhelmed and just all over the place more than ever had I not had the opportunity to work part-time and focus on more of myself during that time. So next thing up is having the gift and curse of humor. Now, this may not be available for everyone. This is more to the people who have a great sense of humor like myself. With that, like I said, it's a gift and a curse, because a lot of the times when you are in these types of moments, you will try to find the best out of it. And sometimes people may think that that is how you're doing, that you are fine. But in reality, you are just one of those people that find humor in things because it's just like, this cannot be what's happening in my life. What the, like, really? Like, what? I mean, more or less the question I just keep asking is like, yo, how did I get here? This is crazy. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. But try to find the light in the chaos. It took me a really long time to find the light in my mother leaving. And I'm being honest, I still don't, but I'm not necessarily the leaving part, but like what transpired, different little things, right? I would just kind of go, man, and kind of chuckle. But also reflecting on those moments with the person that you love, depending on your relationship. Like I said, my mom was my best friend, and we laughed a lot. We argued, but we laughed a lot. We were always on joke time. And so it's kind of nice to really think that, I was able to be the closest person to Tammy Darlene Snipe, right? Because to know her was to love her. Anybody would tell you that. And so me being able to kind of cherish those moments is just so amazing to me, that I was able to experience a person like her, and call her mommy. So reflect on those moments, try to laugh at them. Remember that the person probably wouldn't want you to be sad. Like I said, my mother was very okay with her decision. We had the conversation, and even though I necessarily wasn't okay with it, she was. And so to know that you are faced with the end and being okay with that, decision, a lot of people do not have. And so I commend her for that. So next up is owning each emotion. As you guys see me like now standing like a man, because I'm trying to hold back my tears. And it's only for the video because I'm about to talk to you guys. Be okay with crying anywhere, anytime. And the only reason why I'm trying to hold back my tears is because my friends will tell you, once I start crying, you will not understand anything that comes out of my mouth. And so that is the only reason why I'm trying to hold these tears back right now, because then the whole video will be done for, because it's not going to be good, okay? But being okay with crying anywhere and everywhere. So for instance, I went to go pick up all right, so I went to Pandora and I went to go buy a Mother's Day charm for my bracelet. And in the process of that, I cried while I was sitting at the counter swiping my card. And I decided that in that moment I wasn't going to apologize. Because what am I apologizing for? I'm dealing with a human emotion right now. And so that's just one instance where I just really realized, because the thing about it is that if you hold these emotions in, right, there's all type of emotions that actually stem from grief. You have grief, then you have sadness, depression, anger, happiness. I mean, it's like a whole, I mean, I don't know exactly if happiness kind of goes in, but thinking about, you know, the person and their light that they were able to share with the world and all that type of thing. You just don't know how you're going to feel. But the thing that my mother always taught me was to own your emotion, just know what to do with it. So I wrote in my journal, once my mother started getting really sick, every day, or at least every morning or such, just to kind of get those emotions out, because like I said, I was just so faithful that God was going to heal her, in which he did. It's just not on this side of heaven. And I had to get those emotions out, right? Because if you do not, they will transpire themselves in ways that you will not want to happen, and the people around you will not want to happen. So I would just highly suggest writing them down, talking with a counselor. I mean, my therapist will tell you, for those first few sessions, I would just walk in just not with it, checked out. But I work through those. And what I'm saying through this is not saying that I'm at the top of my hill of grief. Not in the slightest, because there's always going to be things that knock you down. As far as anniversaries, just having those moments, it's just naturally going to happen. I am just, like I said, I'm sharing that, you know, in my year and a half, as we approach the year of my mother's passing, of how I've been able to maintain sane in the first year, which is the year of first, which is sometimes most people will call it the most difficult. So that's why I'm saying to own those emotions. When I was angry, I was okay with being angry. I knew what to do with it. I knew that I needed to meditate. I knew that I needed to pray when I needed to. So yeah, I was okay with being upset with God. Like I said, this is not going to be God is good all the time. He will always be good. But in those moments, you do not feel like he is, and that is okay. I've come to the conclusion that I need him, and it just is what it is. So what I consider, we are texting again. So, also, do not let anyone tell you how to grieve. If you don't take anything from this video, take that, okay? I want everyone to take what they need from this video. It may speak to you differently, but I want everyone to understand, don't let anybody tell you how to grieve. Don't let people tell you, well, you just got to move on. You know, you didn't lose your mother at 27. So, bye. I'd love to hear your advice and all that stuff, but you don't let anybody tell you how to grieve. Don't let anybody tell you when and when not to cry. Don't let anybody tell you when to grieve. Okay? Now, if you feel as though that these emotions and all that kind of stuff and your actions are affecting others in a negative way, totally different thing. But do not let anyone tell you how to grieve. And so with that, you guys know how much I love SJR. And so she actually came out with this book a few months after my mother's passing. And of course I read it. And the part that actually stuck out to me is on page 47. And it says, when people commend others on their strength, it's because they make it look easy. But when you're the one earning the strength, you become intimately adequate with the struggle. Okay? And that spoke out so much to me, because I got so many, oh my gosh, you're just so strong. You're just so strong. And it's like, you don't understand how much I don't want to deal with this. Me and my mother were supposed to be the grumpy old mother and daughter. You guys don't understand that my children that I have yet to have will never be able to experience her. You guys don't understand that my godson who loves his Nana will no longer be able to experience her. And so she will not be able to see me get married. So I don't know why that's considered strong. And I actually do not like that word, and I don't like when people call me that. And so it's just one of those things. You don't know what stripes it takes for a person to become as strong as that you see them. And so, like I said, don't let anyone tell you how to grieve, and be okay with every emotion. Now, do I feel like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I seem to made it through this? Yes. And I pat myself on the back. But yeah, I just think strong is just not the word for that. And that's just me on my my soapbox. But yeah, and also, so with all of this, I hope that you take away what you need to take away from this, and that it speaks to you in the way that you need it to speak to you if you're dealing with grief of any sort. Because like I said, no matter the grief is still grief. And you know, it's just one of those things. Loss is loss, and we all handle it differently. And I just wanted to share my story. But the last thing that I wanted to share with you guys is this book that my aunt gave me, Healing Through Loss. It's by Martha W. Wickman. Daily Meditations for Working Through Grief. And so my aunt sent me this pretty early on, and I picked it up once. I can't remember which day it was, but I know I was upset, and I put this sucker right back down. But all of that to say that I ended up I didn't pick it up for a while. I probably can redo it for the year and be just fine, because it starts January 1st. But I picked it up, I can't remember, May, April, and I put it back down. I didn't like the devotion for that day. But I picked it back up, and I've been reading it, at least doing my best to read it every day. And the thing that I really enjoy about this book is that it doesn't try to explain to you biblically about this being okay and about being okay with uncertain answers. No, I need day to day what I need to deal with from this book, okay? I don't need to hear about all of the biblical references. And don't get me wrong, this definitely has biblical references, which is fine, right? I've definitely started Bible devotions about all of this as well, but this gives you the practicality of it all. And the thing I also really enjoy, and it discusses in here, is about your attention span when you're dealing with grief. It's very short. Because you're juggling a lot of emotions and a lot of things. And so I really love that it's so short. It gives you a little tidbit, a quote, then it gives you some help, and then it gives you a quote from someone, a little brief devotion-ish meditation, and it gives you something to. So all in all, I just wanted to say that this is a great book. Thank you, Auntie. I should have started sooner, but like I said, dealing with those emotions, and that is okay. But everyone, no matter the religion, should get this book. It's really good, quick, easy, to the point. But all in all, I hope you took away something from this video, a deeper understanding of how maybe I've maintained and be able to maintain sanity, which, like I said, therapy, super duper important. I will forever be grateful to my therapist. I knew that that's what I was going to do, even with my grandmother. I just didn't know that I would have to also do it with or for my mother. And, you know, just the things I did in this video is how I've been able to kind of stay sane, and be my newest, bestest self. So this is the end of my video, and this is also the end of my YouTube time with you guys. This is my last video on the YouTube platform for the very much so foreseeable future. Um, I've been on YouTube for 3 years. You guys have took this ride with me. I have appreciated it so much. But as I embark on these new things, the new place that I'm in, I just feel as though that I want to do something else. I'm not saying that I may never be back, because you never say never. And you know, with this new adventure and purpose that I'm embarking on, it could very well happen. Just understanding that I will no longer, and I know I took breaks already, but you will not be seeing a video from me in a couple months changing my mind, unless God speaks to me. But for the really for the foreseeable future, I am done with YouTube. Thank you guys so much for taking this ride with me on my makeup tutorials, my vlogs, my product reviews, me talking about my lock journey. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I'm not going to say that I have not enjoyed it. This past year recording, you know, you have to have a certain kind of liveliness to you. That's why I've tried to definitely keep it here for this video. Just trying to get you guys to understand kind of where I am. And this past year, kind of recording videos has been a little bit more difficult, just because it has not been a joyous year for me. And so, you know, one, I never want to be fake. And if I feel like I have to be that, then, you know, I'll just step away until I can figure it out. Like I said, thank you for this 3-year ride. You guys can follow me on all of my other social media platforms. I will list them maybe even here down in the description box below. Connect with me. I would love to talk to you. Anyone who has questions about this video and, you know, what resources I can provide to you, I will be more than happy to do so. But until next time, aka never time.